really natural because I might scratches next to it and end up either hitting the edge of it and looking abrupt. So I use it a lot for. He's got dark whiskers in here, so I would go back in and put the eyebrows and the dark whiskers in with black marker. And also it's great for just little tiny touch-ups. You're like, don't want to pull out the ink. Got black pen. You do have to find a black pen that pretty close to matches the black ink. There are some out there that have like really bluish tint or really reddish tint. Once you lay it down, you're like, whoa, that doesn't look right.
Well, maybe Ampersand could make a marker pen with the ink in it that we use.
Or I know which ones are the ones that are.
I don't know what other. I know that TC uses microns. This is called a little pen. I got it just at a little craft store, and it's a pretty close match.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I try to use some of them. Pretty colorful.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is from Marvy, and just ask for Marvy.
Okay.
So is this pretty close?
It's pretty close.
All sprays black.
I mean, it's not perfect, but I've tried Sharpies, and I don't find Sharpies to be very close, personally.
If you were to use like the old quill pens with the metal tins, would that work okay with your ink?
Charlie.
You know what I'm talking about?
The rotor rings?
You mean?
Like the older style
Like the
pen
Pro
you
Quill?
Yeah, you can use
Would that work on that?
Sure.
Like the old Clipper pen or something. That would work? Same idea.
Rapidograph.
Yeah. There's
This way everybody wants.
I know, they're hard to clean and all that.
This one matches pretty well with the colors of the shell, so
It matches pretty well for you.
Yeah.
What's the brush one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one doesn't leave a shine? Because you know that the board is matte right now.
Right. Of lengths of fur throughout the animal. Even a short-haired animal has areas that are traditionally longer slightly than other areas. And I use a longer line for areas that are long. However, that doesn't mean, like, I wish I had my horse piece in here. I didn't do that mane with, like, one stroke for every piece. It was, like, longer strokes, but it was a lot of kind of medium to longer, like, strokes. It wasn't like, oh, this piece of mane has to go here, except for the ones crossing the forehead, and those were individual strokes. But yeah, the wispy hair.
It's amazing.
The layer.
Looks like it's a lot harder now. I think I'll tell you, after you've been there for hours. I can get two way only. And you can't do that with any tool. That tool weighs less than any other tool out.
Like all the way down. I don't need to start with these super light lines. I kind of start with kind of a more medium pressure line. And I don't do the really light underlines because I'm going to take it down to white practically anyway. So, for example, this area under the eye that's practically light, I can start with a little bit heavier pressure line.
A lot of artists send us their, at least images.
I can't either.
That's why you make rulers.
They're unnatural.
You guys almost see like a magazine. You know what I mean?
I'm using Sorel paper. It's S-E-R-A-L. It's it's transfer paper. So I do my original drawings on just standard paper. Yeah.
And the Sorel doesn't leave a wax in there?
Actually, I told you wrong. I'm using Choco paper. It's carried by Hobby Lobby. I haven't had too much of a problem. Like you can rub them off with your finger. However, on the parrot here, I did have a couple places where I went into erasing it with kind of a, like almost where it ate away the ink. So I haven't had that problem before.
One option that one artist, what Sally Maxwell does, is she chalks the backs of the
I read that on your
black chalk.
I read that on your tips and tricks thing on the thing. I was like, well, that's a good idea, yeah.
So you basically create your own transfer paper because it's nice.
Does it rub off too easy? Because I don't work with a glove or anything. Does it come off?
No, it really doesn't. It actually stays on there for your whole.
Do you sharpen it though?
Unless you're really on it. really chalk the back, because what's nice about that one is just blow it off.
But I blow my ink particles off because I can blow chalk off.
No.
Well, it holds up pretty good without too much. You know, Robin.
And I guess you could go back to
This thing's so light, and you can find it.
Oh, wait.
Still, I see you have to do that.
No, it's nice and it's delicate. You had one explode though, right?
Yes.
It's spring.
I was sure I only.
It's on spring. Can't plot one. I lay my board out and like a corner up where I'm working, and then I can move my board up to that. And as long as you're not like forever, it holds up pretty well.
I'll run electrical tape. I'll run 30 lines of electrical tape. So it's kind of exciting.
Oh, wait, that's really cool.
I had a problem with that.
You can see what you tell before you're different.
Yeah, Donna.
Me personally, I mostly work in black and white. I'm just trying to explore color, so it's.
Years ago.
In this particular case, these are Iberian wolves, which are extremely endangered. There's only about 3,000 left in the wild, and I wanted them to be like people to be able to look and say, that's not a gray wolf. And in black and white, it was just like, hey, it's a couple of wolves, that's cool, but I wanted to bring awareness to the species of wolves that are really critically endangered. So in that case, I was like, I want the distinguishing traits that the color bring to this set of wolves versus being like, hey, cool, a pair of wolves. I want them to be like, those don't look like normal wolves, what are they? And to maybe investigate it a little bit further.
The feel of these things, because I choked up so hard, is bad.
First color.
Put it in there, shapes.
Like it seems to generally sell better and people are attracted to it.
I don't think you get it. I just like it. I just like color and I like it.
White in first because it's something that's pure white and it's easy to do. I don't have to really think about it.
That's definitely better.
So the catch light is this
You know what?
white circle
This
in the
thing right
middle.
here, I
Yeah.
could care less.
Oh, really?
Because I don't use it to deepen scratches. Too fast. This is
Yeah,
the
you
first
did
one I
it.
bought. I never sharpened it, and I hit it with a piece of sandpaper once and started to bend over on me.
Yeah.
But I never sharpened it. I don't care about being sharp. This is, I don't know, sharp, that's what I use. Or the other one.
And I think the difference between an eye and fur is that eye is, I'm trying to convey a smooth surface, so it's not necessarily, I mean, for the most part, I still do use, fairly directional lines, but I can do a lot more cross-hatching and stuff because there's not a direction that the eye is going to be. It's actually a smooth surface, so it has to have a little bit different texture and feel to it than the fur does. So if I only use lines on the eye, I'm going to end up with something that looks like a furry eye, essentially. And so a lot more cross-hatching in the eye area than you'll see in the fur.
Oh, I want one. There has to be organization here.
It's like, herding cats.
You seen the commercial with that?
Yeah, that's a great one.
My name is Beth.
Oh, Bethany, did you come last night?
Yes, sorry. That's okay.
I remember your name on it. And you live
In Indianapolis.
I'm practically close my boards.
That's true.
I'm all over it. You work that fast? You work? I'm just surprised every time I do that, my scratches turn out too uniform. They're not random.
I'm doing the eye, but yeah, that's the speed I was grasping.
Exactly.
That's what I was looking at. She was going every direction across it.
On the eye, I do a lot of cross-hatching, just because, as I said, it's not. Remember the tiger that I have in the show? I stippled the whole. To do all my eyes like that, I used to stipple them, and it gives a pretty neat effect. But it's not. I find that the cross-hatching actually gives a more realistic texture to how our eye perceives it as something smoother rather than to me. But you can stipple them. Patrick, we all love Patrick. We wish Patrick was here with us. Does
Good
a lot
plug
of
there.
stippling on his eyes and
That's sucking up right there for the video.
so apparently Tape Cat is really happy you're not here, but the rest of us are missing
Patrick here, just stink up the joint.
Oh, could you hold it up just for a second?
Apparently now we all put
Yeah, great.
white canvas.
Can you see it in there? Make sure you can see it.
Consider around the eye, the skin.